Good afternoon. We are in sweltering heat today, really relaxed, way more relaxed than normal. And we're discussing Mercury Conjunct Uranus in a natal chart. So when you have Mercury, the planet of our cognition, communication, our minds, with Uranus, which is a higher octave of Mercury actually, and it's a planet very much connected to anything future oriented, things that are sudden, things that are innovative, things that are surprising outside the box.
Shocking.
Yeah. A little destabilizing as well. When you combine those two energies, there can be a lot of lively mental chatter and sharing and conversing. And that was kind of the inspiration. And we even would catch in ourselves, we could get really carried away.
And talk too much or just get into too much. Yeah.
Interrupt each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of insights.
Very disjunctive cadence. You know, the flow it's a nice flow, you know. It can be a very nice flow, but it's also disjunctive. There's something too electric about Uranus and Mercury together. The ability to pull in sharp insights and powerful, shocking insights is great, but that's when it's like welcome. Otherwise, it's like a bunch of nonsense. You know, we get off. You know,
it can be.
Where people get off. It's too much gibberish, perhaps. But otherwise,
I don't think it depends on the signs you have. These planets connecting.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You have it in air. I have it in earth. They're both left brain signs, so I think if it was water or fire, it might come out a little more nonsensical. Say if you had Mercury, Uranus, and Pisces.
That makes sense. Yeah.
A little more poetic, a little out there, right? With the air and earth, I think we can ground it and calm it and slow it, and we're conscious of it. So it's something we've had to actively work on, not interrupting each other.
Mm-hmm, sure. And with air, I mean, there's a lot of flow, a lot of intellectual, a lot of abstract ability to convey things. With earth, the ability to bring it down to practical reality, to make it make sense to the everyday.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that strength, you know. And yeah, it's a very powerful conjunction. I mean, it's considered usually almost like one of the markers or testimonies for the chart of genius, you know, genius insights.
But
I mean, you have it closer than I do, -6 degrees. Yours is 1 or 2.
1 degree. I have Mercury retrograde though, which some say it depends on who you ask, but the retrograde can kind of make it a more internal, you know, takes that mercurial process more internal with me.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. What I will add is Mercury rules the nervous system. So something to watch with people who share in this aspect is being really mindful of the stimulation around you. Choosing to do activities where maybe you're not spending time near a computer technology that can be tempting with this.
Well, it's a great aspect for it, but at the same time, you need that
discharge that
those
energy.
breaks, and you need to connect back to the earth, like you were saying, put your feet on the ground and
grounding. You mentioned breath work is really excellent activity to manage this.
Yeah, definitely doing breathing exercises, because your beat can become irregular with your pace of speaking.
We're very filtered here, but I feel like when we're interacting before we shoot videos, or even we've shot videos, our first video we attempted of this, we were like really riding that energy, and we're just so tired today, honestly. That's why it's not really coming out.
Baked by the sun, really.
Yeah, we're depleted today, and we tone it down, I think, because we're aware when we're being filmed or creating content. But you've told me many times, or I've had to tell you, like, I need you to slow down, or can we stay on this topic?
Can we stop talking?
Yeah, that happens. We have to be like, we need to just stop talking, because we could talk for hours and not eat, and then be like, whoa, like, oh, we're in a body. We have to like address that.
Time for a meltdown of some sort.
Potentially. Do you have examples of well-known figures with this?
Some examples. One great one I found was Humphrey Bogart. He was played a detective in the old film noirs, so like the 30s and 40s. He was in the famous one called The Maltese Falcon. And we were watching a video, that video we were telling you about yesterday. We watched. He's great, great wit, great quick, just hits and sharp commentary and analysis of the characters of the people in his experience. Like he just calls them out on things, and he was known for being a very quippy character, both on and off the screen. He was known for being very sharp, very. But that's a great example. Another example was Michael McDowell. He was in A Clockwork. He was the main star in A Clockwork Orange, as well as actor. I'm trying to think of other films. He was in a recent film that I watched. He was in Star Trek's. Was it Star Trek Generations? He was in that. He played the bad guy, and he was in other great films. Trying to think what other films right now. I'm not remembering, but great actor, great power, great vocal cadence and expression.
It's like you said, though, the cadence can kind of be disjointed.
It can be erratic. Yeah, and he has that kind of, when he speaks, it is a very erratic presentation, because the way he speaks is like a storm. It just comes out, and then something else comes out, and you can feel in his frequency, it's like lightning or something.
Yeah, quick. I get like flashes of insight or flashes of ideas. It's very inconsistent kind of thinking. I will also add that and I totally blanked. Of course, I'm like, have a thought to add, and then I blanked. What was I going to add about this? Oh, that Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, meaning it operates like it's intuition. It's so fast, it's intuition, but it's not intuition that it's just this sense feeling intuition. It's intuition of the logical minds. But just operating so quickly that it's intuition. It's just logic moving so quickly that it's like these flashes of insight that seem like, oh, that came out of nowhere, but it's just actually the intellect working really quickly. So I think people with this placement should really have activities where they can mentally kind of exert themselves or exhaust themselves in some capacity, because there can be that restless mind. I mean, I have to like read a lot of books before bed, and I learned to not do it on the computer, because in a book I can actually, like, my eyes get tired and my body will actually get tired and I can rest. So having a way or a channel, maybe it's a craft, writing, a technological,
journaling for all that nonsense that gets stuck in the body,
or a technological like skill where you're using that Uranian energy. Uranus also rules astrology, so here we are, streaming about astrology,
cold and spiritual, all the. I want to come back to something Wally said about the nervous system. Mercury does rule the nervous system, and so those with sensitive Mercury placements, we're dealing with a nervous system that, relative to your experience, all of us are dealing with a nervous system that reacts and responds in various ways. So, certain types of somatic healing, attachment theory, understanding your nervous system and how it responds and how to heal your nervous system is really important for people with this sign, because
it's sensitized with the Uranus aspects.
Yeah, and if you talk too quick, if your patterns are too irregular, it can throw your heartbeat rhythm off. Really good to strengthen the lungs and the heart too, which kind of was your expression as well. And yeah, those are things to be really aware of, because I know as a Uranus Mercury, like, I don't like to overstimulate my nervous system. So I don't, another example, and those with rulership, like Aquarius, Gemini, Virgo, those who have rulership in Mercury or Uranus, and especially interacting, will notice that there's already an oversensitized nervous system. So it's not good to overstimulate that. So avoiding, coffee, avoiding.
I can't. Yeah, I can't do
coffee. I've never done coffee for long periods of time. Like
When I do
garlic.
it, when I
I don't
do it, it's
garlic.
like a recreational drug experience.
I'll do green tea once in a while, and it's too much. Right? So now I do your herbal coffee stuff, which is
Little plug there. Hit me up. Yeah, anything else to add? I think we kind of covered the bases. Maybe we'll quickly talk. You know, we're so familiar with the conjunction. We both have it. Opposition square. The opposition, how's this energy going to operate, Mario?
And if it's in opposition, usually how it manifests is people will come into your life as the projection. They'll get in your way. So Uranus will get in your way, or the Mercury. You'll adapt one archetype or the other, and then that's confronting you to navigate and negotiate a new way of being, a new way of compromising your life. All oppositions, whether it's in the natal chart or it's transit, it comes usually as a person.
Projection.
Yeah, if we don't own the energy, then it comes. It's something we interact with. We have to face in another.
I would say the square, you might really want to address some of the challenges that go along with this, because you might notice that you are very hypersensitive and it could have a more disruptive energy, right? Because the planets aren't necessarily combining, they're kind of, clashing in a sense. So just, listening to some of those remedies we shared, for me, just taking a bath, literally like soaking the internet out of me.
Yeah, water's so good. Water's so healing.
Soak the internet out of you. Soak, soak yourself, release things from your mind. Because again, that active mind is a blessing and a curse. Right?
Yeah.
Don't let the computer hard software run you.
That's it. Yeah, nothing else to add.
Cool. Well, we have more videos like this. If you guys have topics you want to talk about, tune in and write to us.
Thanks so much, guys.